Can Semonza deliver? That is the question here as he's rerouting traffic. Will take the drop. Running out of time, chucks it deep. And it's caught. Anthony Brown-Stevens, 4 seconds left, no timeouts. Will they have enough time to get this off? 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And they get it off. Semonza scrambling, throwing it up. And it is. Welcome back, as we finally have college football 27 now to play. So first things first is starting this dynasty off. We're going to be starting on Heisman. Then just a couple different things. We're going to change the quarter length to 6. We might bump this up to 7 or 8 depending how the games feel. And default everything else as of now, besides I like to manually progress my players, not have the CPU do it, just so we can get them into different development things that we want to do. So next is looking at the blueprint for Tulane. The blueprint for Tulane, as we see, we're 72 overall. Our pipelines are Louisiana, East Texas, and Mississippi. We're a sub-500 all-time program with no Heismans, no national championships, and we have currently a little over 3,000 NIL budget to work with. And what I'm doing with this actually is we're going to make it to actual currency. So the closest thing I could come up with for a conversion is 1 NIL point, I guess you could say, is roughly $3,000. So keep that in mind as we have a little bit over $9 million in our program that we can work with. So there's our school grades. And next, let's get into Coach Zoms. So for Coach Zoms, he is going to be a recruiter, as he is good with player relationships, as he was a former player for Tulane back in the mid-2000s before bouncing around the NFL in a couple practice squads, never really making it big, before returning home to Louisiana. Started coaching some high school football, a couple different programs, very successful before finally joining the Tulane staff as a defensive analyst. He was a defensive player back in his heyday, so he's been on the Tulane staff a little bit before as a defensive analyst, but again, not a huge role and not much head coaching experience outside of high school football, but he knows defense. It's going to be a short kind of turnaround from him getting this head coaching job, so we are going to stick with, our offense and defensive coordinators, their playbooks, what they want to run, and just let Coach Zoms kind of take over the daily operations and the program building aspect of it. And here we can see the AD's expectations of us, as in the next 3 seasons, we got to be ranked in the top 25. They want us to win a conference title this season, as we've had 2 in the past 4 seasons, so that is the expectation. And then to beat one of our rivals, Southern Miss. And here we're kind of hiring a couple support staff. One, I wanted to go with some fundraising lead to get some extra NIL dollars on the back end, as again, we don't have too much to work with, so I don't want to, do too much at the start. And then we're also going to do an assistant to kind of help NIL expectations with recruits and retaining players a little bit less. So let's get into some of our schedules for this year, as same schedule as we had coming in. Starting off with Duke, playing our rival Southern Miss and Memphis in conference play. So a very doable schedule, a couple tough battles before getting into conference play. We dive right into recruiting, as one of our main focuses is controlling the state of Louisiana as best we can. Although there is obviously LSU that's going to take Beavers, including Roy Body, which is going to be immediately the top of our list, and then also Dexter Merriman, who is from Louisiana, so we'd love to kind of steal a Gem 3-star there. And the round out our gems is outside linebacker Raphael Westerman. As we take a look here in the top 25, as obviously we're not in there even after a good year last year, but we are at the end of the receiving votes, so if we have a good year, it shouldn't take long to sneak up into that top 25. and get that 80 expectation. Now for preseason All-Americans in the American Conference, we have McClure at running back, Anthony Brown-Stevens on that first team, as well as our kicker. Now on second team, we have our backup running back, Turner, showing up. And then defense, we have an array of talent as Ed Smith, Derek Shepard Jr. on our defensive line, as well as senior leader Chris Rogers, cornerback Stevenson, and of course Jack Chichu on the back end, who I expect to have a great year for us. And again, the main question this year comes down to who's going to be leading this Green Wave offense. Is it going to be the Houston transfer, Zion Chris, or the guy who transferred a year before him, sat and learned some of the offense in Semonza? As we get into practice here before our first game, with Chris actually getting the starting reps. Not sure if that means anything, but throwing him out there first and see what he has. And again, remember, he is more of a scrambler dual threat, as that was a terrible throw off his back foot. So again, not going to be able to hit as many precise down the field passes, but he will be able to kind of keep that defense honest, as he has the ability to pull it and run every single play. So here we see kind of a deep pass, not too badly thrown, but I am going to have to get better at that user timing catching, which is new this year in College Football 25. And it looks kind of like our defense is going to be one of our best saving graces this year, as we hit a pass down the middle, not too bad there. As our main three receivers are going to be Dustin Hill, the LSU transfer, the leading returner, Anthony Brown-Stevens, and sophomore is that Carl Lewis Jr., who was that slant route there earlier. As Zion throws an interception, and again, he just doesn't have as accurate of throws, but this is what he can do, is tuck it and run and pick up yards when the play breaks down, which honestly, for an offense that's not really going to have an identity, that's a really good thing to have. So see how many more plays we get of Zion, as we really have no clue who's going to lead us, as that's a deep ball. And it's picked again. That's already 2 picks here in practice, as Semonza gets the reps here next. Moving around the pocket pretty well, as he can scramble. He's not the most athletic guy, but he's not, running with stone on his feet, as he can pick up yards when need be. He brings more of that accuracy, as we see another good throw. There's Brown-Stevens, as he's going to be kind of the go-to guy, and see what Hill can do, as well as Hill hasn't really played too much college football, transferring from LSU, where he did not step on the field too much at all. Good scramble and just kind of a check down to McClure. And throws it deep, and what a ball there to Lewis Jr. That was the best ball we saw all practice session, and we'll see if that gives Coach Zoms kind of the green light to be like, all right, let's start Semonza and see what happens, as right after I say that, it's a pick. As here we go, first game of the season at Duke, 72 versus 77, as their best rating is their offense, while our best rating is our defense. So good versus good, if you want to call it that. And let's kick it on to Durham, North Carolina, as the Duke Blue Devils, coming off a ACC championship run, versus the Tulane Green Wave, coming off an American Conference championship, as Coach Zoms submitted his depth chart earlier this week. So we officially finally know who is going to be taking that QB1 position, and it is Semonza, as you can see him warming up pregame, as the coaching staff did mention it is kind of a hot hand, play it as is, but Semonza is going to get the first crack at it to start this 2026 season, as the Duke Blue Devils come into this game as 6.5-point favorites. And it'll be interesting to see, as there was a lot of roster turnover between both of these squads, and both are sporting new quarterbacks, as Duke lost Darian Meza to Miami, and that's, crazy scandal of the offseason, if you want to call it that. And here we go, Coach Zoms' first collegiate head coaching game, and Nate Shepherd for Duke is their highest rated overall player, and see if they feed it to him early and often, as the first play of the game is right to Shepherd as he makes a cut to the left and cuts it right up the middle for about a gain of 17 yards as they hurry to the line, catching the Green Wave a little bit rattled here to start this game. 1st and 10 from the 30 as they're shifting around, didn't like the look, and we'll see what Ejet, the quarterback, does as he hands it directly back to Shepherd with a spin move and a good pickup of around 7 yards as it's 2nd and 2, and he steps up in the pocket and fires it to the left, and it is caught for a first down. Duke, as they're kind of moving it along, driving here in the opening possession. A little flip out to Shepherd, and he gets hit, but it still picks up 3. 2nd and 7 now, as it's a handoff. No, it's not. It's a fake RPO out to the left side, but it is broken up by Tulane. Brings up a 3rd and 7, and it's over the middle, and he is just short. 4th and 1 as Duke ends up punting it away. And here comes the guy, Semonza, who they're giving the keys to the car for, and we'll see what he does on his first possession as a Tulane quarterback, as it is a play action to McClure. Scrambled to the left and an easy dump off and a lot of open space there for the tight end. A good gain of about 12 there. And 1st and 10 here right after that, and we'll see what they're going to cook up. A fake to McClure and a nice RPO pass to Destin Hill to get close to midfield. And it is clear how explosive Destin Hill is in the open field and with the ball in his hands. It's a pickup about 21. And they give it right back to him on a little jailbreak screen, and he picks up 4. 2nd and 6 now for the Green Wave, as it's finally a handoff to McClure, who picks up a good chunk up the middle there, and he is the vocal point of this offense. So flip it back out to him again, why not, as he picks up around 5 there, as it's 2nd and 5, and the Green Wave are driving here on the opening possession of the season. And just when I said that, some poor blocking by Brown Stevens makes it 3rd and 7. You would think it'd be a great time to give Hill the ball here yet again, but they hand it off to the backup running back Turner, who takes it to the left. Open field jukes back in and picks up the first down. As caught him off guard, they were obviously expecting a pass there, and Coach Zoms with a good dial-up of a run to get the first down, as it is a little over 2 minutes left in this first quarter, and McClure picks up around 12 there on the handoff. And again, right back to him, a good pickup around 5, and it's 2nd and 5 from around the 8-yard line, and they give it right back to McClure, who rumbles ahead to make it 3rd and inches. And you know the Green Wave do not want to settle for a field goal here, as Semonza is going to send a man in motion and go right up the gut. And he is close down to the 1 for a 1st and goal. And if I was Coach Zoms, I would give it to McClure 3 straight times here, see what he can do. But he only needs 1. As the Green Wave with a commanding drive, Semonza leads them down the field, slicing and dicing that Duke defense, as this is a good sign early to get the offense into a rhythm. And they did kind of everything. A couple short passes, a couple extended runs, and just like that, Duke on their next possession has a 3rd and 7. And what are they going to do here as Egypt goes back to pass, doesn't see anyone open, checks it down to Shepherd, who makes a cut and makes a man miss to get that first down. It looked like the Green Wave were about to get the punt there, and Shepherd had other ideas, as now it is 3rd and 9. As they're forcing quite a bit of long 3rd downs here for the Blue Devils, but it does not matter, as it is Richerson on a slant route to pick up the first down, and Duke is hurrying up to the line, as it seems to be their bread and butter when they get an explosive play. It's a handoff to Shepherd. Nope, it is a pass, and more with the pass and a broken tackle, and will take it into the end zone as the Blue Devils respond with a good drive down the field and 7 of their own, as Jalen Moore makes it a tie ball game. And it looked like it was decent coverage, but immediately after he caught it, did not matter, did not wrap and tackle, and an easy 10-yard walk to the end zone after that broken tackle there by Tulane's DB. So Tulane will get the ball back here and has a 3rd and 2 of their own as the stadium is rocking. Semonza sends McClure out to the right side, does a couple adjustments. We'll see what he has cooking up here as he drops back, fires it up the middle, and that is Daniels, a Syracuse transfer, with a big catch there. But again, 3rd and 12 as they can't get a first down here and keep going backwards. As a pump fake, scrambles out, flips it over to McClure, but that does not matter. He would not have had enough for the first down anyways, as it looks like Tulane's going to punt it away. And then we got a 3rd and 3 here for the Duke Blue Devils at the 2-minute warning. We'll see what they can do before halftime. And it's a deep ball down the middle, and it looked like for a second it was going to be picked off, but nonetheless, it is going to be a punt situation for Duke, and Tulane will get the ball back with a little under 2 minutes left. We'll see what they can do to win the middle 8, as that's one of Coach Zoms' biggest keys to the victory is winning the middle 8 here. So 1:44 left. Semonza steps up in the pocket, no one open, and he's going to take it for about 15 yards. And like we said, he's not the most agile or fast guy, but when he needs to use his legs, boy, can he. And it's 3rd and 4 with a minute left, and Semonza is going to do the same thing and keeps it going, almost a 20-yard game, but hold on, there is a flag on the play, and it looks like it is on Tulane. And that is a drive killer. Would have been right outside of the red zone with a minute left, and Coach Zoms is furious at the refs. Oh, and that would have been crucial before the half for the Green Wave, and now they're backed up 3rd and 14. We'll see what they can do. I wouldn't do anything stupid like turn the ball over here. You don't want to give Duke a easy change of field, and Semonza makes a smart decision and just eats the sack, and we'll give it back to Duke with a little under a minute left as Egypt rolls out to the left and throws a dot, absorbing the contact and the hit, and Duke has a little momentum here. And he finds Richerson on the in route. And 37 seconds. Duke's driving, trying to get some points before half. And again, Moore with the good catch over the middle. 2nd and 5. And he takes a shot deep. And it is caught by Richerson at the end of the half. How can you let that happen if you're Tulane's defense? Wide open down the sideline. Jared Richerson with a huge half for the Duke Blue Devils and caps it off with the go-ahead score before halftime. As what was Green, the DB, doing? Pressing, getting beat, not even able to go stride for stride with him, and that is a dagger heading into halftime for the Tulane Green Wave. Down 7, but it feels like they have controlled most of this game. Yet the scoreboard reflects differently, as we'll take a look around the country with games, starting with Texas A&M only up 7 on FBS team now. Missouri State only up 7 at Kyle Fieldhouse, and we'll see if Marcel Reed can turn that around, as he is a Heisman hopeful, but that could end today. And then other games, we have Indiana only up 4 on North Texas, and Texas State up 7 versus Texas. Wow. Back to our game, though. Head-to-head, pretty even matchup. Tulane not able to get off the field on 3rd downs has been kind of the key here in the first half, as well as not converting their own 3rd downs, biting themselves in the foot with that big hold at the end of the first half. But the story of the half was easily Jared Richerson with 5 catches for 86 yards and that touchdown at the end of the half. And Tulane has to be thinking fast start, have to get points on this first drive, as they will get the ball here. As it's the kick to Florida State transfer Lucas, who takes it out of the end zone, cuts it back in and cuts it back out, and he has a lane. He's at the 50, the 40, one man to beat, and I don't think he's going to catch him. The 10, the 5, touchdown Tulane, and what a start to the second half. Jalen Lucas with a huge exclamation point to start the second half when Tulane was thinking, gosh, we need Semonza to get it going. No need for him to even put on his helmet and step out there, as Jalen Lucas does it for the special teams. Florida State transfer, brought in to be kind of electric third down scat back, and he's making his presence felt on special teams. And here, the following possession for Duke, a good RPO, and hits the tight end up the middle for a gain of about 15, and they're right on the ball, ready to go here right after that. 1st and 10. And we'll see if the Tulane defense can kind of get some stops. As a handoff to Shepard on the left side, a broken tackle, and he keeps it going down the sidelines. And just like that, Duke is driving here. A fake to Shepard and a throw across the middle to Morris. That's been his go-to guy outside of Richardson, and Tulane cannot stop him. 3rd and 4 here, though, as Egypt drops back, gets some pressure in his face, and still finds his tight end over the middle for a crucial third down to conversion. And I don't know how he got this pass off, let alone right to his tight end, as it brings up a 3rd and 8 on the 10-yard line. And he takes the ball, steps back, and just like that, senior Chris Rogers said, I've seen enough of that. Let's get this offense off the field. As here's Tulane. Semonza takes a deep shot for Anthony Brown-Stevens, and just broken up by the defender. That was a heck of a play. That's not a bad ball by Semonza here, as it's 3rd and 10 now, and he gets crushed as Tulane's going to have to kick it back to Duke. Duke on a 3rd and inches right past midfield, and we'll see if Tulane can get off the field here. Egypt scrambles to his right, throws it, and it is caught again, and guess who? It's Moore or Richardson. Either way, Egypt's up to 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, as that's a huge stop in the backfield for Dixon Agu, who's had a heck of a season opener game as well. And that brings it to 3rd and 6 for the Blue Devils. Tulane needs to get off the field here with a stop. And just like that, an overthrow saves 7, as Duke has to settle for a field goal. And McClure with a good run to start that drive off, but it's still 3rd and 6 here for Tulane. As Semonza takes the snap, drops back, scrambles off to his right, chucks it down to Hill, who does not get the first down, as he was so close to reaching that. And this is a big decision here for Coach Zoms. Is he going to go for it here? Close to midfield, 4th and inches. You kind of feel right before the 4th quarter, you can see this going either way. But he's going to gamble the dice, and we'll see if it works out, as it's a handoff to McClure, who runs right up the middle and picks up the first down right before the start of the 4th quarter. What a call. Wow. Here we go. Egypt's been throwing the ball all over. His favorite targets, though, is Moore and Richardson, as it's been a 1-2 combo on the receiving end, with Shepard doing his work as well out of the backfield. So here we go. Start of the 4th quarter. We got 3rd and inches here for Tulane. And we'll see what they do. Are they going to go back to McClure? And they do, and he runs it up the middle. Tough run, but picks up the first down. And we'll see if that can get some momentum for Tulane going into this 4th quarter. 2nd and 7, as it's a fake on the jet sweep, and he fires a rocket to McClure, and that is what they needed. They got 1st and goal within the 10. There's a beautiful throw there by Semonza, and we'll see if Tulane can capitalize here. Man in motion. Semonza steps up, gets hit, and throws it right to the Duke linebacker who was waiting on that ball, and that is a drive killer. What was Semonza doing? Did he see him? Did the pressure hit him? What happened? As Tulane, again, bites themselves in the foot. And we'll see if the defense can once again come up clutch for them. As the rain's starting to come down here in Durham, as it is a 3rd and 10 for Duke, as Egypt steps back, throws a ball to Moore, but he's short of the line, and it is going to be a punt. 3rd and 12 here, as it's a ball to Hill up the middle, slant, and he takes it almost to midfield, as it's just approaching 2 minutes here, and Tulane has to get it going. What are they going to do? And they're going hurry up. We'll see what they end up doing. Semonza's kind of getting some momentum after that good throw to Hill, and he goes right back to the well, and Hill makes a move. And he was one man away from going up in this game. 3rd and 10 now after the 2-minute warning. Semonza takes the ball, throws it out, and that is Lewis Jr., but he is short of the sticks. 4th and 2. We'll see what Tulane's going to do here as it's almost running out of time. Got to convert this one as he sends McClure out to the left. Hot routes. And he is sacked before he could even take a look at who was around, who was open, as it looked like the edge there for Duke was unblocked and had a free shot at Semonza, and he paid the price. That is killer. Don't know if Tulane has enough time to come back in this one. They still hold all 3 of their timeouts, but wow, that was a needed 4th down, and they could not get it as the left tackle just went inside, leaving the guy wide open to crush his quarterback as Duke takes over. And it's Shepard, and he has one man to beat, and Chichu gets him. That is a savior there as Shepard on 3rd and 7 does not pick it up. Tulane uses their last timeout, and a field goal here would end it for Tulane as 55 seconds it's snapped, the kick is up, and he pulled it left. There's still hope for the Green Wave with under a minute left, and we'll see if Semonza can make a drive of his life here as he takes the snap here on 1st and 10, scrambles around, finds Anthony Brown-Stevens, who had room but slips, and even worse, did not pick up the 1st down, so the clock does not stop here as Semonza's hurrying him to the line. 30 seconds left as he's looking, doesn't find anyone, rolls out to his right, and just gets rid of the ball. Whew, that was almost intercepted, so let's see if that can get the clock stopped. Is a good thing, but here we go. 31 seconds left, 3rd and inches, need the 1st down, but also not a lot of time to do it. As he rolls out to the right and will just take what they give him and also get out of bounds with 26 seconds left. And Semonza is having a drive here, and we'll see if he can finish it off. 26 seconds, 1st and 10. Semonza audibling people around. Here we go. Steps back, drops, rolls out to his right again, and flips it. And it is caught by Anthony Brown-Stevens and gets out of bounds with 21 seconds left. Tulane moving down the field little by little, but we'll see if they can capitalize and win this ball game. Rain really coming down in Durham as Semonza gets a snap, rolls out to the right, nobody open. What's he going to do? He just throws it, and it was almost intercepted. 16 seconds left. Not enough time, but you're going to have to work with it. Here we go. 2nd and 10. Semonza making hot routes. And we'll see what he has left in the tank here as he's gotten beaten up on this drive. As here we go. The snap, the drop back. And he takes a shot deep the hill. Who comes down? Oh, he does not. It drops. As that's a killer. 11 seconds left. You got maybe 1 or 2 more plays. Can Semonza cement his legacy in the season opener for the Green Wave? As he takes the snap, lets it go, and it's caught. Anthony Brown-Stevens, 4 seconds left. They got to hurry to the line. Are they going to get this off? 4, 3, 2, 1. He gets it off. He drops back, scrambles to his right, throws it up. It is not caught. Anthony Brown-Stevens came down with it, and the DB knocked it out of his hands as Duke will survive here in Durham in the rain, as Egypt had himself a great day with almost 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that is a killer for the Green Wave. A great comeback in the rain on that last drive. Semonza doing all that he could, but self-inflicting wounds throughout the game just hurt the Green Wave. Before halftime, that hold, and geez, like that, knocked out of the hands as Tulane will start the season 0-1 as 3rd down, 7 for 12, not good enough. Egypt had, almost 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Shepard added 100 on the ground. Was almost untackleable the whole game. Nichols, Moore, and Richardson created a good trio of wide receivers this game. And for Tulane, Semonza with 210 yards, but that crucial interception on 1st and goal. McClure with 80 on the ground and a touchdown. He did his job. Destin Hill with 73 yards, 7 catches. Anthony Brown-Stevens with over 80 yards. It looked like it was going to be good enough. One more catch from Brown-Stevens would have had a crazy comeback story. That's Chichu with 13 tackles, 1 TFL, and Dixon Agu with 15 tackles, 2 TFLs. The key leaders to this defense, but it all comes short as Tulane will start 0-1. As we'll see if next week against South Alabama, Tulane can bounce back, as it's going to be a rough season if that's how the games go.